Ghana is on the verge of a revolution, not with protests or battles, but with unity. Imagine politicians who've been rivals for decades, sitting at the same table, shaking hands, and saying, "Let's fix this together." Sounds impossible, right?
This afternoon, together with my team, first to congratulate you and to commend you for your emphatic victory in the just ended general elections. It is clear from the results that you put in a lot of effort and you've been handsomely rewarded in that regard. I'm sure many Ghanaians are not aware that although we belong to different political persuasions, that we've had very good fraternal relations for many years, based on mutual respect and shared common values, and indeed also our commitment to serve our nation.
But what if this bold idea is exactly what Ghana needs to rise above its challenges? What if unity isn't just a dream, but the first step toward a brighter, stronger future for every Ghanaian? Here, we would like to take a moment and thank you for supporting us and for being a member of our strong community. Here, we would like to take a moment and thank you for supporting us and being a valued part of our strong community. And if you are not yet a member, we encourage you to join us and help build an even stronger community together. Let's get started. All right, imagine this. Two political heavyweights sitting at the same table. Alan Karamotin, a man with bold ideas for Ghana's future, and Mahama, a seasoned leader who knows how to navigate the stormy seas of governance. Now, these two aren't exactly best friends. They come from opposing sides of Ghana's political spectrum. But here they are, talking, not arguing, not trading jabs, but discussing how to work together.
In respect of the first pillar. The second one is the Great Transformational Plan. Your Excellency, I know that during your first term in office, you had to go to the IMF for support. Now, there's a marginal increase or a stability that comes along with being on an IMF program. So ultimately, you find that the numbers will start looking good. It's obvious that's part of the whole objective of a stabilization program. But then, at the end of the program, unless there's a program of transformation, then you are likely to slide back into instability, which is what takes you to the IMF in the first place. And so, with the Great Transformational Plan, I very respectfully like to recommend a number of priorities for your consideration, which is stabilizing the macroeconomy. I know that because of our manifesto promises, there's a lot of pressure. Everything is important, but I feel that it's the macroeconomy and the economy as a whole that basically must occupy your highest consideration. Aligned with this, also, I would say a prioritization of the productive sectors of our economy: industry, agriculture, and then tourism. Because that speaks to the next most critical agenda for our nation, which is creating employment, particularly for the youth.
What brought them here? It's simple. Ghana is in trouble. The economy is wobbling. Political divisions are tearing the country apart, and people are tired. Tired of promises that don't deliver. Tired of leaders who only look out for their own. This meeting was about acknowledging that things can't go on like this. Now, this wasn't just a polite chat over coffee. It was a big deal because they were talking about something almost unheard of in Ghana's politics. Unity. Not just unity in speeches or press releases, but actual, tangible unity. A government where everyone, no matter their party, works together for the greater good. Sounds revolutionary, doesn't it? But here's the real question. Why now? Why is this idea of unity so critical at this point in Ghana's history? To understand that, we need to take a hard look at why Ghana desperately needs a fresh start. Let's zoom in on everyday life in Ghana. Picture a typical day in a bustling market in Accra or Kumasi. The air is alive with energy. Vendors calling out prices, the smell of fresh produce, the chatter of buyers haggling over goods. On the surface, it looks vibrant and lively. But underneath all that hustle and bustle is a deep frustration. You see, for years, the average Ghanaian has been stuck in the same cycle. Jobs are hard to come by. Prices keep rising and opportunities seem reserved for a select few. Young people graduate full of hope, only to find themselves unemployed or underemployed. Families work hard but still struggle to make ends meet.
We're all facing lack of employment, and I think when we vote for the best governments, all these problems will just vanish.
I hope all the politicians, they will deliver on their promises when voted for. For instance, like creation of jobs and improving the facilities in the country.
I want the person to help us to go to school. Yeah, I'm staying in the house because of money to pay my school fees and a whole lot of things. So I have to vote for the right person, someone who can bring us job so that we can do and get money.
Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. And what about the government? Often, it feels like they're more focused on scoring political points than solving real problems. This is why Ghana needs a fresh start. It's not just about fixing the economy or passing new laws. It's about rebuilding trust. Trust in leaders who will actually deliver. Trust in a system that works for everyone, not just the privileged few. And this is where Alan Kyerematen's vision comes in. He's not just talking about unity as an abstract concept. He's got a concrete plan to back it up. But before we get to the plan, let's break down the big idea behind it: national unity. When was the last time Ghana truly felt united? Not just during a football match, but in a way that lasted, in a way that made everyone, no matter their political stripes, feel like they were part of something bigger. It's hard to think of a time, isn't it? That's exactly what Alan Kyerematen wants to change. His idea is simple but revolutionary: a government of national unity. Think about it. Leaders from different parties with different ideologies sitting together and working as a team. No more winner takes all. Instead, it's about sharing power, sharing responsibility, and sharing the commitment to making Ghana better. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds great, but how would it even work? Well, it starts with creating a culture of collaboration. Alan envisions a government where decisions aren't made behind closed doors by one party, but openly, with input from across the political spectrum. Imagine policies that reflect the needs of everyone, not just a party's supporters. But here's the thing: unity alone won't solve all of Ghana's problems. It needs a backbone, a roadmap to guide the country forward. And that's where the Great Transformational Plan comes in. Let's talk about what makes this plan so special. The Great Transformational Plan, or GTP, isn't just another fancy name for a set of policies. It's a vision, a bold, detailed blueprint for how Ghana can rebuild itself, piece by piece. At its core, the GTP focuses on three pillars: economic stability, job creation, and infrastructure development.
Now, in respect of the first, Your Excellency, I'm sure you're all aware that our country has been seriously divided for many years because of partisanship. And unfortunately, this is robbing all of us of the benefits of our democratic credentials, which we've nurtured over so many years. And I think this ought to change. Secondly, this whole winner-takes-all syndrome, which has been associated with partisanship, I think is also not helping our country, because we don't have the benefit of harvesting and mobilizing the collective talent of all Ghanaians. And we should not be divided in that regard by our different political ideologies. I think that also needs to change. Thirdly, also, the lack of continuity of government projects, which again is the result of this partisanship, has also cost our nation quite a bit of money. And I think that also has to change. So I would really like, very respectfully, you to consider this whole development paradigm of how you build a government of national unity, which obviously then means that you bring together people from different political persuasions, big and small, people from other stakeholder groupings, because I think they also represent, indeed, in fact, they represent the majority of the people. So they must have a voice also in government. So that's in respect of the first pillar. The second one is the Great Transformational Plan. Your Excellency, I know that during your first term in office, you had to go to the IMF for support. Now,
Ghana's financial challenges are no secret. Debt is high, growth is uneven, and the country relies heavily on imports. The GTP tackles these issues head-on. It emphasizes smarter spending, reducing waste, and investing in sectors that benefit the people. Then there's job creation. The GTP doesn't just aim to create jobs, it aims to create meaningful, sustainable jobs. We're talking about opportunities in industries like technology, manufacturing, and renewable energy. Jobs that not only pay the bills but also give people a sense of purpose and pride. And finally, infrastructure. Imagine roads that connect even the most remote villages to major cities, schools equipped with the latest technology, and hospitals that provide quality care. That's the kind of Ghana the GTP envisions. But none of this can happen without fixing the economy first. So let's dive into what Ghana needs to do to get its financial house in order. It's no secret that things have been tough. Rising debt, inflation, and a heavy reliance on imports have left the country in a precarious position. So, how do we fix it? First things first, Ghana has to get its debt under control. Imagine trying to save for your future while being buried in credit card bills. That's what Ghana is facing. The solution? Smarter financial management. It's about cutting unnecessary spending and renegotiating debt to create breathing room for the economy to grow. Next, we need to focus on small and medium enterprises, SMEs. These businesses are the backbone of Ghana's economy. Think of the local shop owners, the farmers selling their produce, the tech startups brimming with innovation. They're the ones driving the economy forward, but they're often overlooked. With better access to low-interest loans, streamlined regulations, and government support, these businesses can thrive. And let's not forget about exports. Ghana has so much to offer the world, from cocoa and gold to textiles and technology. By investing in industries that boost exports, the country can bring in much-needed foreign currency and reduce its reliance on imports. But there's one sector that stands out as the key to economic revival: agriculture. When was the last time you thought about where your food comes from? For most of us, it's just there, at the market, on the table. But for millions of farmers in Ghana, agriculture isn't just about feeding the nation. It's their livelihood. Ghana's agriculture sector has incredible potential. Take cocoa, for example. Ghana is one of the largest cocoa producers in the world, yet most farmers struggle to make ends meet. Why? Because they don't get the support they need. With better access to tools, training, and fair pricing, cocoa farming could become a game changer, not just for farmers, but for the entire economy. And it's not just cocoa. Rice, maize, vegetables, cashews, Ghana's fertile lands can produce so much more. Imagine a Ghana where we're not importing basic food items but growing them right here, keeping money in the local economy. But agriculture isn't just about crops, it's about jobs. From transport and packaging to processing and retail, the ripple effects of a strong agricultural sector can create opportunities across the board. And with innovations like smart farming and irrigation systems, Ghana can lead the way in modern, sustainable agriculture. But none of this will work if corruption is holding us back. Corruption. It's the one word that makes everyone groan, isn't it? It's like a bad habit Ghana just can't seem to shake. But here's the thing. Corruption isn't unbeatable. It just takes the right approach to tackle it head-on. Step 1. Transparency. Imagine if every single government contract was made public. No shady deals, no hidden clauses. Just clear, open information for everyone to see. With digital tools, this is entirely possible. Step 2. Accountability. Corruption thrives when there are no consequences. Strong anti-corruption agencies, whistleblower protections, and independent courts can ensure that anyone misusing public funds faces real penalties. And here's the twist. Fighting corruption isn't just about laws, it's about culture. When people demand accountability and refuse to participate in corrupt systems, the entire dynamic changes. Civil society, journalists, and everyday citizens all play a role in creating a culture of integrity.
Now, beyond this, also, I think, is the issue of corruption, which you've spoken about, and which robs us as a country of so much resources that we can channel into development.
So, what's the big picture? What does a united, transformed Ghana look like? Imagine a Ghana where young people don't dream of leaving, but of building something extraordinary. A Ghana where communities, rural and urban, thrive together.
Like I said, the easy part is over, which is the campaign and the election. The difficult part now begins. And as our traditionalists say, many heads are better than one. And you've properly analyzed the challenge of our democracy. And that is that we cannot harness all the human resource we have to be able to move the country in the direction that we want to go. At any one time, the party that wins and its supporters and functionaries are rowing in one direction, and another part of the country is wishing that that party fails so that they can have the opportunity at the next election to be able to come into government, and to create a situation where all of us, or the majority of us, are rowing in the same direction. Then it means that the canoe in which we are will just continue to be in the same place, or even if it moves forward, it will not move at an optimal speed that guarantees prosperity and dignity for all our people. Since 1992, we have implemented the fourth Republican democracy under the 1992 Constitution. And I believe that it is based on multi-party democracy. And so the strength and health of political parties is at the core of our democracy. And so one would, even though we're opponents, wish that, the parties that are on the other side of the divide are healthy, and that, they also have their democratic systems working, and that they contribute their quota on whichever side of the divide, government or opposition, they contribute their quota to national development. So we can't be happy with the current situation in the NPP, and I hope that they'll quickly recover from this dramatic loss that they have suffered and then put their act together. We could see it coming, and I've been in politics long enough to realize that there was something wrong in the NPP. I remember clearly, and some people have played it over again, our friend Mustafa Hamid, who was advising me at the time that if you reach a stage where you cannot be advised, then there's something wrong, wallahi. I think that unfortunately he didn't have that same advice for the leadership of his party, because it got to a point where democracy in the NPP really, was not what we've been used to and what we all know.
Unity, bold leadership, and a shared vision could turn Ghana into a beacon of hope for Africa. But it won't happen by accident. It takes effort, it takes commitment, and most importantly, it takes belief. Belief that change is possible and that everyone has a role to play. Because at the end of the day, Ghana's future isn't just in the hands of its leaders. It's in your hands too. The question isn't whether Ghana can change, it's whether people are ready to make it happen. Do you think unity within leadership can fix issues? What might happen if all leaders focus on local interests more than personal interests? Let us know in the comments section. Do you trust these leaders? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.